Hello everyone and welcome to NETCRYPTO, where you get important information and news about all coins and tokens of interest. And today we are taking a look at this really sad situation called Rexus Finance, right? So this Rexus Finance, we highlighted it as a scam immediately when it hatched out of the scam egg, right? And I did advise that don't buy the pre-sale because the scam is in the pre-sale, right? And most of these finance tokens, they are just an overall scam, right? We had also another scam, Retic, right? Same situation with Rexas. It's now over 90%, 95% down, right? It went to zero. Rexus Finance, just as you saw on the thumbnail, going to zero, right? It's already 90% down from the last price of the pre-sale, right? 209, right? It has accumulated a zero already. It's on its way to go down, right? So we are going to be seeing even 3 zeros on here, right? Definitely this token has hit a zero. So I've seen a lot of people asking about lawsuits and so on, right? Yes, it is possible, but the best way to actually throw a punch, right, to these scammers is actually to report them, right? To report them to the authorities, right? So, for example, they've got accounts on Binance and so on, right? So for Rexus Finance, I believe that I did a forensic investigation showing how money is moving around. So if you want to actually, for your claim to actually have a little bit of extra information, right, you need to actually show how money is moving on the blockchain, right? That's how money, that's one of the service actually that we have here on the channel. For those in the membership section, if you want a special report, you join the master tracker membership level, right? And you can do a special report that you can actually submit to the authorities showing this is where money is going, right? So for example, if money is going to Binance, you have the actual address where that money is going to Binance or whichever exchange, right? And Binance can actually action to close that account. And guess what? If there is a Binance account, right, those people are actually doxed, right? They are doxed. They might be using fake IDs and stuff, but they are actually doxed to Binance, right? So there will be some sort of human, right, that is actually KYC'd for that specific account on a Binance, right? Same goes for any other pre-sale as well. So that's one angle that you can take a look at this situation, get the accounts blocked, and also submit your tracing. You can even do it for yourself, right? You can go and trace the transactions for yourself, right? If you don't want to join the master tracker membership level, right, you can trace it for yourself. And if you're wondering how do you do that, right, you just go to the channel, right, and then you click the join membership, right, and then you choose the master tracker membership level. If you want to do a report, right, a professional report that you can submit to the authorities for Rexus Finance, right? But in most of the cases, with what I have seen, right, of course, it is a good thing to do the report, submit to the authorities, and open a case because evidence is accumulating against them, because these are the same people who are running these finance scams, right? So for example, we have Retic Finance, right? We have Remetix Finance, right? We have RCO Finance as well, right? So these, I believe these are the same people, right? So the more and more evidence starts to, as more evidence starts to increase against them, right, sooner or later they're definitely going to get caught, right? Because as you saw, and also this is one of the things I did highlight this in the last video. I highlighted this in the last video, and I'll highlight it again. A lot of people do say, no, they've got audit, like static audit. Static audit. Did the static audit help with anything? And not only do they have static audit, they have Skynet as well, right? So a lot of people come and say, but NETCRYPTO, they've got an audit, right? So they must be legit. An audit means nothing in crypto because the audit is being done on a contract that has been designed by the scammers to pass the audit or have a reasonable score for the audit, right? But once the audit is done, the audit cannot audit scammers' brains that are going to scam after the audit. right? The audit is not auditing scammers' brains, it's auditing a smart contract, right? So the audit means nothing in crypto, right? Audit means nothing. If it is a legit project, yes, an audit can mean something because the project is trying to do something legit, and it would be good to have an audit to see what the risks are and so on, because an audit becomes important in that case for the project's protection. It can get hacked right from the outside, so it becomes important for that case. But an audit in any pre-sale or any of these tokens means absolutely nothing, right? So as we see, the token has already arrived at stage 8, right? This normally takes a week to 6 months. For Rexas, it took a week, right? It arrived to stage 8, 80%, 90% down, a straight up rug pull, right? Straight up rug pull. Rexus Finance is dead just like that, right? So what can we expect? What can we expect with these finance tokens, right? I believe they're just going to continue bringing up more and more finance tokens, right? More and more finance tokens are going to be just coming up. For example, with Rexus Finance, right? It's currently sitting at 0.078, right? And as you see here, they're actually talking about the sprint to 18 million soft cap is on. Get your 50% token bonus now by using promo code SPRINT T50. So this bonus also is the other thing that we need to talk about, right? Because if you notice, BlockDeg was giving like what? A crazy bonus, like 500%, 300% or something like that, right? So bonus for what, right? Also, this is another angle that the scammers are using to actually trick investors to think you're getting something, right? You're getting nothing. There's nothing that you're getting. And also these price increases. The price increases also mean nothing, right? I am blabbering a little bit, but I think this is important because a lot of people say, you know what, I bought into this, right? So why is it continuing? This is next price increase. The whole thing is designed to scam investors. And how do you actually scam things like this? Like, for example, for this one, we did highlight that they are talking about a worldwide, like for example, Remitex powers crypto holders and businesses to facilitate crypto to fiat transactions worldwide. They say they do this worldwide, but they don't have a license. So it's small things like that. If you're saying you're going to be doing financial transactions worldwide, right, where is your license? Right. Same with Rexus Finance. Rexus Finance is your gateway to future asset management. Rexus Finance empowers you to own or tokenize virtually any real-world asset, from real-world estate to art to commodities, intellectual property on a global scale. Global scale. Where are your licenses? Right. So it's asking questions such as that that will help you to actually be able to avoid scams like this. Right. And of course, as I've also said, if you are unsure, you are invested into some pre-sale, you can join the membership of the channel and drop an email, because once you join, you're going to get a welcome message that includes my email. You can ask, can you do a review on this specific token? You don't even need the master tracker membership level, right? Just the initial membership level, the first one, the entry one. We can do token reviews, right? Requested token reviews, because only channel members can request for token reviews, right? So this Rexus Finance, like I said, I've seen a lot of interest into opening up a class action, something like that. To open up a class action, you're going to need evidence on the blockchain, right, to actually show that the scammers cashed out, these were their addresses and so on, right? So that's something that I would encourage you to actually seriously consider. You can do it yourself, right? Just go to the blockchain, to the address that the funds were going into, and then you trace it all the way down. Or if you don't want to go through all of that, just go to the channel, right? And you'll be able to just join the membership, but you need to join the master tracker membership level, because a lot of work is involved into tracing the transactions, right? So that is the membership level that will actually be able to allow you to do this. And you also get my email, so we can do exchanges if you've got questions and so on. We can have a back and forth communication as well, right? So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.